we're using a different software today, so we can see all your chat on the side. Just type in live if you think we are live. Okay, are we live?
Yeah, we are. We are live, I think.
Can't see the chat.
Yeah, we are live. So hey guys, just in the chat, you guys can introduce yourself or talk about where you guys are from,
Yeah,
something
we
like
are
that.
live. Cool, guys. Maybe type in the name of your college. Where are you? Where are you guys from? Or if you're from a school, just type in the name of your school. Or if it's nothing, then just type the name of the city or town you're coming from. By the way, talking of city and town, I'm Shreyans and I. Both of us are from BITS Pilani Goa campus. He's my neighbor. He's sitting in Bangalore right now. I'm in Nasik. All of us are stuck at home, just like most of you guys.
Yeah,
Shreyans, how is home life?
it's good. Gets a little boring after a while, but it's good. I miss college.
Yeah, we rarely go for classes. Like I haven't been to classes in like 2 months. And what about you?
Yeah, same. After my midsems, I haven't attended classes.
Hmm.
So
Oh,
yeah,
we have people from Goa, Lucknow, IIT Kharagpur, Jammu, BITS, Hyderabad. Tarun is from Hyderabad, Daman. Cool. Few people have dropped for JE.
that's nice. So how will we today? We'll just start with an AMA or something, Q&A, or we'll talk about something.
So I think initially we can just start off with like how COVID has impacted college, like why people are missing out on so much,
Yeah.
and especially for colleges, right? Like you're just paying a couple of lakhs for just Zoom classes. So we can talk about that, and then eventually we'll move on to talking about startups, which is startups, side hustles, things like that, which was something part of the live stream.
Sure. So yeah, I think last year we got hit by a pandemic. It was unprecedented, something we have never seen, something we've never witnessed. And because of that, everyone had to come back home. And now we're paying lakhs for college or school, and we're trying to learn through video recordings or PPTs. And so it's not really an ideal situation,
Hmm.
but we need to, I think, make the best out
So
of what we have.
like especially in our college, there was like a protest of sorts, like a small protest when people are like, you shouldn't be hiking the fees, it's just too much. But then a lot of colleges gave this reasoning that we need to pay the professors, we need to pay their salaries. So
Yeah.
what do you guys think of it? Let me know in the chat. Is it justified of colleges to not increase to not decrease the fees because they have to pay salaries of professors? What do you think, Shreyans?
I think, I mean, in a way it is justified, but in a way it's not fair also to the students, right? How are we expected to learn without, I mean, we pay for the infrastructure also in college, right? We pay for the sports facilities, we pay for the labs, right? But all of that is not even available at home. So, I mean, they should be taking different things into account.
Hmm. Especially given that a lot of people sort of lost jobs, I think there should be like at least a reduction, especially like US colleges. I think there was this meme around Harvard because they were charging like $50,000,
Yeah,
more than $50,000 a year, which is how many lakhs? Uh, Assuming
crazy.
all charges, it's around like 50
Third,
lakhs in total, like assuming housing charges, food, everything, which is quite a lot, especially when you're just attending Zoom classes. And even if they pay salaries of professors, I think you get quite a lot of extra money.
exactly.
So yeah.
Someone asked, are you guys still paying 4 lakhs even though you're not living in hostel? So we're not paying hostel fees. The hostel, electricity, mess, that's what they reduced. So at least they reduced that. But I mean, there are some other things that you can't, count, like friend circle. We're not meeting friends, or like I mentioned, sports facilities, right? We pay for those basketball courts or tennis courts or something, but we can't use them now. So yeah. Uh, I see a
Cool.
couple of
So
financial
yeah, a
questions.
lot of people are asking you finance questions. So let's do this. Now I think a lot of these kids, lot of these audiences are in first and second year of college. So just for fun, just for learning, tell me like two tools that you can use to sort of learn a bit about finance, a bit about those graphs and whatever
Yeah.
you use in your
Um,
trading
so
journey.
so someone actually asked, how did I start liking finance? Was it through a course or was it through just self-realization? So it was actually through my seniors at college. They introduced me to the world of finance, like stock market in depth, and to Zero the Varsity, which I still think is one of the best tools, which is the best resource you could have to learn about the stock market. And I started from there, and I realized that I really liked it. It gave me freedom to earn money based on how hard I worked. Right? If you work hard, if you study hard, the more knowledge you gain about stock market, the better chance you have making money. Right? So that was something that I could control, and I really really liked it.
Interesting. Name those two tools that you mostly use. Maybe they can just check it out.
So number one is Zero the Varsity. I use that for learning, and number two is an app called Webull. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of it, but it's an app on the phone that you can download called Webull.
Okay, I'll just put
Right?
that in caption.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the name of the app. So if you're just sitting at home, go to this app, download it, check out some stocks. You should
Yeah.
get like good analysis of them.
Exactly. Yeah. So these are the two main things that I check. So all that.
Cool. So I think we're gonna move to the second part of the segment, which okay, we're just 10 minutes down the line, but it's gonna be a long session, which is startups, right? Like especially after the pandemic, I've seen a lot of people come up with business ideas. It could be something as simple as grocery delivery. Since a lot of deliveries, since everyone was at home, I saw a lot of my friends start grocery delivery services. As in, they just gathered a bunch of people, delivered groceries, and then you also saw a bunch of innovative businesses, especially in especially small businesses like food delivery, cooking food at your home and then just delivering it to
Different services.
bachelors.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then edtech boomed. There were a bunch of edtech companies that came
Definitely.
during
Yeah.
COVID. And then a lot of anything and everything that happens online sort of boomed. But then all these physical stores had to take the impact. So those kind of decreased. But did you come across any innovative ideas? Okay, even the audience can type in. Did you come across any innovative business ideas during this pandemic? Something interesting. Shreyans, what about you? Did you come across anything
Um,
interesting?
So also adding to your previous what you were mentioning, what else boomed? Zoom. We never
Hmm.
expected things like video conferencing tools to go up. Zoom's stock price, revenue, all shot up like crazy, and because that's what everything happened on. Yeah, and someone mentioned cloud kitchen. Cloud kitchen has become massive because there's no point of going to a restaurant now, right? People don't have to pay for electricity or ambience. They just cook the food in some kitchen and deliver it through Zomato or Swiggy or other services. So yeah,
Oh, something very important. Reddit memes boomed.
yeah,
Um,
Reddit, Wall Street bets,
oh yeah,
that
that takes us back to those days.
January, yeah, December, January of last year. So yeah, I mean, this pandemic has been like crazy. There's a lot of stuff. I mean, if you start from the beginning, we saw trends like Dalgona coffee or something like that. Then as we kept going on, every month had a different aspect, different phase or trend.
Yeah.
So
I think we should talk about the Reddit meme stuff. The term meme stock. I think someone was asking about Dogecoin
yeah,
right now.
yeah,
And the concept of meme stocks was invented at that point in time, right?
exactly.
Where the most randomest company, what was the company which started raising too much of money?
GameStop,
Yeah,
GameStop,
GameStop, which was a dead company. They used to sell physical CD games, right,
yeah,
through stores.
and rent, yeah,
Yeah, and rent it out, and that just started booming. Companies like Blackberries and Nokia stock started booming, and
exactly,
that just showed the power of communities, right? Like just a bunch of retail investors in a Reddit thread doing insane things that just puts huge hedge funds into losses. And yeah, it's been a crazy time. Like people had so much time, everyone was at home, that they just drove a financial revolution by sitting at home and using Reddit and investing in
exactly,
stocks, as per they
exactly,
said.
yeah. Yeah.
These guys had a Discord server. Remember, both of us just went on the Discord server, and then
Yeah.
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 So
Wall Street Bets had a Discord server with I think 7,000 boosts. At one point, there was just so many people on the channel, and they used to, as soon as the stock market opened, they used to tell what to do, what not to do, and all. Someone said Plenify's Discord server also boomed. Yeah,
yeah,
I mean,
for
yeah,
sure.
definitely.
Mhm. I
We
don't
saw that.
think even my YouTube channel, like I don't think it would have boomed if it wasn't for the pandemic. I'm not saying it's good in any way, but people are just at home, so subscribing to YouTube channels or subscribe. This Instagram Reels just took off, and then
Exactly, yeah.
people joining Discord channels, Discord servers that also took off.
Even
So yeah,
TikTok.
oh
Yeah.
TikTok, and then they just banned it. So
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Someone asked, recommend some good podcasts.
mhm.
It depends what kind of podcast you want to listen to. Usually, I listen to financial podcasts. So I would recommend Planet Money. Planet Money is something that I listen to very
Okay, let me
often.
put that.
Another thing would be Bloomberg Masters. Um, and there's something called Exchanges at Goldman Sachs, which is also really funny. They talk about random things that happen at Goldman Sachs on like a daily basis. So these are just some of the things that I listen to. Traders Unplugged. These are all podcasts about finance mostly. Planet Money is about economics, so that's also great. Uh, you can check that out.
I still remember you told me about a podcast for motivation. You said every time you listen to this, every time you feel low, every time you feel
Yeah,
that things aren't going right, you
yeah,
listen to this podcast and it makes you feel really good.
yeah.
What's that podcast?
It's by Ben Lionel Scott. Ben, and then Lionel.
Okay, I'm
Scott.
misspelling it, but if you Google them up, then you should get the podcast.
Yeah,
So
it's correct only, except there's only one L.
yeah,
So that guy has the craziest, the best motivational video podcast. They're literally 4 minutes each, and they will give you crazy amount of motivation. This is what I listen to when I try to work out once in a while. But yeah,
a lot of people are talking about raw and real. So a couple of days back, we just texted Shwetab and asked him to come give a talk. So he came to give a talk.
okay.
Um, okay. Now let's talk about startups. So we were talking about TikTok, right? TikTok got banned, and then there was an Indian counterpart which just took off. Can people guess what was the Indian counterpart of TikTok which just shot up? Right now, it's a unicorn. It's valued at more than $1 billion. Can someone guess what's the Indian alternative of TikTok that just shot up? It has a lot of installs, and it's a huge
It's
company.
more than TikTok. It does other things also.
Yeah.
It has some chatting also, right? If I'm not wrong.
Let's see if people can guess it. I
MX
think
Takatak. That's not a, it's not a unicorn. It is a alternative, but it's not a unicorn, right?
okay. Now
Unicorn.
Moj, that company owns Moj.
Yeah.
Name the company that owns Moj. It's not MX Player. Oh yeah, Razi is correct.
Yeah. Share chat.
It's ShareChat.
Yeah.
So what's the revenue model of ShareChat? I think it's still at zero revenue. No, I'm not sure if they make money.
I don't think they're profitable, but I think a few weeks ago they hit $1 billion valuation. They got a massive investment from I think Tiger,
Tiger Global.
Tiger, yeah, Capital, and they made $1 billion valuation, and that's just the sort of things that happen. Unicorns, for those who don't know, are companies with a valuation of more than $1 billion, right? And recently, because of the pandemic, how many companies? I think 12, 13 companies became unicorns.
Yeah.
All over the different industries, right? We have finance, fintech, entertainment. What else became unicorns recently? Urban Clap. It's close to Urban Company. It's close to becoming a unicorn. Stuff like that.
So ShareChat is really interesting because they were like English is something that might not work in India because it's already saturated, right? All English speaking crowd are used to Facebook. They're used to Instagram, all of these other social media platforms. So ShareChat took this approach where they went regional. So Punjabi, Telugu, Tamil, Marathi, They were like, no one's making a social media platform for regional speaking language people,
Yeah,
right? So
exactly.
they went into that market, and I think the next 400 million internet users are going to come from are like new internet users. They're going to come from very remote places who have never been exposed to internet before. So they don't know what Facebook is. They don't know what Instagram is. The first thing they'll download is ShareChat. And if you see a lot of phones, like especially I have like some Samsung phone, ShareChat comes pre-installed in it.
Wow.
So
Yeah,
I don't know how they do it, but a lot of phones have ShareChat pre-installed, which also increases the download rate. And then yeah, it's like TikTok. You can chat. They have different communities. They have different topics where you can chat, and they have a lot of videos floating around. So all TikTok type of content on ShareChat.
yeah,
We think it's cringe, but that's what majority of India consumes. They want quick entertainment, quick dopamine hits, and yeah, because of the engagement on the platform, it's now worth more than $1 billion.
exactly. Someone also mentioned Razorpay. Yeah, Razorpay also, but I think Razorpay just really just got their Series E funding or something, right? Series
Mhm.
E or D, something like that. So it's not a recent unicorn, but yeah, it's valued, I think, more than 3 billion, I think, or 2.5 or 3 billion or something
It's over
after
two
its
billion something.
after its most recent round of funding. So yeah, Razorpay was also something that revolutionized or disrupted the industry of fintech or
Yeah.
consumer payments.
I like the way Razorpay works. So Razorpay's business model is that for every transaction that happens, it takes a 2% cut.
Yeah,
So if I send Shreyans 100 rupees, Razorpay will get 2 rupees out of that 100 rupee transaction. And that's insane. Like not for small amounts of money, but imagine the amount of transactions that happen on Razorpay every single day. Every huge startup uses Razorpay. So if
exactly,
Dukan is selling something, they'll use Razorpay. E-commerce sites are using Razorpay. So they have this billions of rupees are being transacted on Razorpay every single day, and 2% of billions is quite a lot. So
exactly.
they have a solid business model, and I think it's definitely going to grow as well. Like unlike most startups, which have like really bad losses or make zero revenue or still haven't figured out a good business model, Razorpay on the other hand stands out and has a solid business model. So
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's gonna like
I think
it's
Razorpay is in that league of Zerodha type.
hmm,
One of those startups. Zerodha also crazy startup, completely bootstrapped, never raised any money, and still managed to be profitable since day one. And being in the fintech industry, brokerage industry, that's something that's insane. So
yeah,
yeah,
it's wild.
2.7 billion valuation of Razorpay.
Then there is another company, Indranagar Ka Gunda. Can someone guess which
Yeah,
company is this?
yeah. The ad went viral a few days ago, or
Yeah,
week ago.
their marketing
Uh,
strategy is insane. I heard Tanmay Bhatt makes the ads for them.
yeah,
So
for
yeah,
sure.
Tanmay Bhatt is insane.
Yeah. Does anyone know which company this
The
is?
chat is a bit slow, so I think it'll take some time to show on the
Okay.
screen.
Okay.
Come on, guys. Yeah. Okay. Now,
Yeah. Yeah. Cred.
yes, it is Cred. It's Mr. Kunal Shah. So, can someone guess Cred's revenue? How much money did it make last financial year?
Yeah. And by the way, it's a billion. It's a unicorn, right? It's a $1 billion company.
It's more than $2 billion again.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tanmay Bhatt is OP. Made a great ad.
It's
Can
not just
someone
this ad.
guess
His
the revenue?
Cred's other ads are also like
Yeah, yeah,
really
yeah.
great. Yeah.
Even
Someone said.
even the ones that you saw in IPL, all of them were made by Tanmay Bhatt's agency.
Yeah. So Ayush, I think, got the correct answer, or
Yeah,
I think 52 or 57, something like that, lakhs.
Cred
Even
make
though being a
52 lakhs.
$1 billion company, $2.2 billion company, it made 57 lakhs. I mean, but it's still working on its business model, still working on its
Yeah,
monetization strategy. So, it's
I'm
that
very
vision.
curious to know how they earned this 52 lakhs.
Yeah,
How?
yeah,
But yeah, right now they're launching a lot of products. They launched something called Rent Pay. So you attach a credit card, and every month, credit cards say some money gets deducted and goes towards your rent.
yeah,
So you don't have to, like manually pay your landlord every time. It just goes from Cred,
yeah,
and they've started giving loans also now. So if your credit rating is good, they'll give you loans. And I think that's a very cool concept because most banks face losses when people don't repay loans, right? But
yeah,
Cred is giving loans to people who already have a good credit score, who who might, like 99% of the times, these people will return back the money. So Cred is giving money to these trustworthy people, and even if they charge a good interest rate, these people will anyway pay back the money. So
Yeah.
it's a pretty smart concept. They're like taking India's top 1% richest and then putting them on
Exactly.
the app. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, they have a crazy marketing strategy. Like Shaurya pointed out, they have a really good marketing strategy. Their website, their app, it's all beautifully designed. And I think it's the vision of Kunal Shah. I mean, he's a very smart guy,
Yeah.
right? He's one of the smartest entrepreneurs in Indian ecosystem, at least. So
So
yeah,
Kunal Shah, before this, he ran Freecharge.
yeah.
How many of you guys know about Freecharge? Has anyone used it? Did you
I
guys download
actually I
Freecharge?
actually
Yeah.
had it downloaded, but I never used it. Like it was just, I downloaded it because of that FOMO. Everyone else around at me had it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I had it downloaded, but never actually used it. And then Kunal Shah went and sold it, I think, to ICICI Bank
The Snapdeal
Snapdeal
for
for
400 million
400 million. Yeah.
dollars. Yeah. So once I was listening to this podcast by someone, he was asking Kunal Shah, "Do you regret selling Freecharge?" And within a second, he was like, "No." And he said, "Dude, I had $91 million in my bank after that. Why would I regret
Oh,
it?"
that's
And
insane. That's
that
insane.
was cool. So
It's
he said,
actually
"I
crazy.
just want to move on. I want to start my next venture. I want to chill for a bit."
And
And
to be honest, Cred was
yeah.
very similar to Freecharge, right?
Mm.
Freecharge was, charging bills, paying your bills, sending money to each other, and he tweaked a little bit and made Cred, which is paying your credit card bills and other stuff like that. Um,
So Snapdeal bought Cred for $400 million, but wasn't able to run. Sorry, Snapdeal bought Freecharge for $400 million, but their leadership wasn't good enough to run it for a long time. So they sold it to Axis Bank for some $200 million.
Access or ICICI or some bank.
I think Axis Bank. Axis
Access Bank.
Bank bought it from Snapdeal for $200 million. The
Yeah.
Snapdeal ka, yeah, it was a bad decision, bad acquisition, but Kunal Shah became rich. So that's the lesson we learned.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Um, okay, I don't know what this 425.
I think it's 425 million or something. I think
Oh,
they
it
sold it for
was
four.
sold for 425
Yeah, I
million
mean, yeah,
dollars. Yeah.
similar. Um,
Cool, guys. So I think now, yeah, Axis Bank for $80 million.
yeah,
That's crazy. So now I think we can talk a bit about startup funding, like what's pre-seed, what's seed, what's Series A, Series B, how does the entire process look like, maybe some of the prominent investors in India, so that if one of you guys have ideas that are investable, then you can go out there and start exploring the venture capital ecosystem.
yeah.
Maybe I can talk about pre-seed and you can talk about the seed round. How are they different? So
Sure.
pre-seed is usually when you just have an idea and you haven't really started building on it, right? So to usually build on an idea, you need a team. So you can maybe build a small prototype, a small MVP. MVP stands for a minimum viable product. It's like the simplest thing you can build out of your own efforts. Once you've built that, you need some more people in your team, right?
Yeah.
And maybe to hire them or to maybe market that product a bit, you might need a small amount of money, like could range anywhere between 5 lakhs to 50 lakhs, a small amount of money. I mean, it's not small, but in the startup world, you need a bit of money to sort of build out the product and actually turn that idea into something that's usable. So that's why most people raise pre-seeds. Not required all the time. If you can build the product without raising money, best case. So you can just do that. But sometimes people do require a little bit of money to build out the product. So that's when they raise a pre-seed.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of angel investors. So there's a website called Angel List. Go out there, you'll find a list of investors, and you can approach one of those investors and then ask them to give you a pre-seed. Then there are places like First Check, Titan, where even these guys invest in pre-seed and seed, so you can check them out as well.
Yeah.
And there's something called India Quotient. Even they invest in pre-seed and seed. You can check them out as
There's a
well.
ton
Yeah.
of different venture capitalist or venture capital firms. But so that's what Harish mentioned about pre-seed. So when you want to get funding on an idea and you want to develop that idea, right? If your idea requires a lot of money to build, then you'll need pre-seed. Now, seed is when your idea has been formed into a product, right? You've made that first prototype, you've made that first version of a product, and you want to scale it, right? That's when you need to get seed funding. It's the second round of funding, um, And so basically, for example, if you have a company that sells water bottles, right? And so to create that first water bottle, you'll need pre-seed funding, right? But to go from building one building one bottle a day to building maybe 400 bottles a day, you need to get maybe seed funding, right, to scale, to become bigger and stuff like that.
Yeah. And then maybe you can tell them about the average seed ticket size.
So it depends, actually. To be honest, it depends a lot on your industry, on your field, how much you want. But it can go anywhere from $100,000, $200,000 to even 1 million, $1.5 million, right?
Yeah.
And these are all large amounts, right? And it takes a lot of effort, hard work to get to even seed round. I think 96% of startups fail in just ideation uh, stage, right?
Yeah.
So
So seed stage, I think in India, most of the seed rounds range between 1 crore to 2.5 crores. That's
yeah,
where most of the seed rounds happen. But then, it's very dynamic, keeps changing. Now, once you have raised the seed round, then comes terms like Series A, Series B, Series C, Series D, it just keeps going on.
yeah,
That's when you take money to scale up. So now, say Swiggy, if it's just in Bangalore, and it wants to move to other cities like Bombay, Delhi, and wants to cover entire India, then you need money for that, right? So that's when they raise these growth rounds where they
yeah,
just keep pumping in money and then keep expanding their services.
yep,
So that's what it means. Now, you might be like, so what's the ultimate aim of a startup? Why do people just keep raising money? And there are two things, like the only two outcomes of a startup that most people look out for, three things, in fact. One is it might fail, which is true in most cases. It might just
yeah,
fail and everything might just go bankrupt. The second is you might get acquired. So bigger player might acquire you. Baiju, look at Baiju, it's just acquiring every single edtech company. It acquired
yeah,
Topper, acquired Akash, acquired Great Learning. It's just acquiring a bunch of companies. Or
exactly.
third is IPO. So today a startup went on
It
the
filed.
IPO.
It
Yeah, it
filed
filed
for
for
IPO.
IPO.
Zomato filed for IPO. I think yesterday it filed for IPO. So IPO
Hmm.
is initial public offering. It's when a startup goes onto the stock market, right? So in two of the three cases that Harish mentioned, the investors that invested make a lot of money back, right? If your company gets acquired by someone else, it's going to be for a large amount of money. For example, Baiju's bought Akash for $1 billion, or Akash bought Great Learning for how much? $400 million, I think.
Baiju's
And
bought Great Learning for
yeah,
400.
Baiju's. So imagine how much money the early investors would have made, right? And the second good outcome is IPOs. So IPOs are for billions of dollars, like what it's on the screen. Ayush Chaudhary said that Zomato was for 1.1 billion, right? So that's how much money they're gonna raise, and imagine how much then early investors would have made off that.
Yeah, and TVF Pictures and Silicon Valley, you should definitely watch these shows.
Yeah,
I
Silicon
mean,
Valley is
yes,
it's it's
check
great.
out Silicon Valley. It's in Hotstar. So get a Hotstar subscription for like a month and just watch it. It's like one of the best TV shows I've ever watched. Too funny and very realistic also. They don't like glamorize startups or something. It's
Yeah.
pretty realistic. Okay, Zomato did apply for a $1.1 billion IPO.
Someone said for manufacturing related product, do we need seed funding? And it depends, right? If you can make it at home, if it's like a less, I mean, there's different types of manufacturing. Do you need a machine? Do you need a factory? Or do you need a small thing at home that you can make using some materials you find at home, right? If it's something you need machinery, factories, then yeah, I think you will need funding. So you can
I think
start
a
off with
lot of
pre-seed.
industrialists take huge loans,
Yeah.
not necessarily funding. I think they take debt before starting companies or factories.
Yeah.
Okay, why are people asking for J mains rank? Let's not talk about sad things, guys. Let's keep it positive.
Yeah.
Um, Tell us about how you got an internship about in Groww. Yeah, so for people who don't know, Shreyans actually got an internship at Groww, and he also had an internship at World Quant. So yeah, maybe we
So,
can just talk for like 2 minutes about
so
it.
for Grow, it was very random. I did not expect it. There were multiple things. So on Grow's website, I interned at Grow like 2 years ago, right before they got their major round of funding of 83 million. At that time, they were just a new company, fresh out of Y Combinator. had raised a Series A of I think $8 or $9 million, and that's when I got on. So I was going through their website, and it said, now hiring, and it was hiring for a bunch of different roles, web developers, marketing, content writing. So I thought, why not? I mean, what's the harm, right? So let me just apply. So I sent emails and I applied, and surprisingly, I got a response back, and so we took it forward from there. So what I would say is just always keep your eyes open and don't miss out any opportunities, right? If you see a company that you would like to intern in, saying now hiring or something, then just go for it. Send an email, send a call, and that's one of the best ways to get in touch.
Cool. I guess we can wrap it up in like another 5 minutes. Guys, you can
Yeah.
keep asking questions. We can start the Q&A now. We'll wrap it up really quick. Someone asked, would you do an MBA? Do you guys think MBAs, apart from ISB, IIMs, and Harvard Business School, Stanford Business School, apart from the tier 1 MBA colleges, do you guys even think it's worth it to do one from tier 2 and tier 3 MBA colleges? I would say no, definitely not. Rather just go and work somewhere, you learn more, or just start your own thing, you learn more.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, MBA, I think it's a little overrated. It's great. Having an MBA is great, right? I would say it's good, but it's also a little overrated. There's much more you can learn by working in a startup than studying for another 2 years. But it depends, right? If you want to work in investment banking or something, then MBA could help, right? Because MBA students usually go for investment banking or venture capital. So it depends on what you want to do. Um, but I'd say real experience is better than MBA.
Yeah, like I know a lot of my friends who did MBA from normal colleges. I'm not talking about ISB, IIMs. They are really good. But normal college MBAs, and then they spent a lot of money, but then it did not have a huge impact in their life. Like it's still in the same position where they were before. So yeah, I mean it's totally your choice, but just do some good research. See what kind of difference it actually makes to your life, and don't do it because your parents are saying it. Use some rational, think about it, see what kind of opportunities it can bring in.
Yeah.
Um,
Someone else, can we invest in cryptocurrency? There's a lot of cryptocurrency questions coming up.
yeah.
Yeah, you can invest in cryptocurrency from India. There are platforms like WazirX, BitBNS. There's a bunch of platforms out there. Just check how much commission each take, right? They have a pretty big commission. WazirX takes a large commission. So just check. But yeah, I think you can invest in almost all the coins through WazirX.
Yeah. And someone's asking, have you created a new cryptocurrency? There's a website called BitClout where you can create your own cryptocurrency. So I just went there and created some Clinify coins. The concept, I'm not sure if it's a real thing or if it's a scam, but be aware of crypto scams. I heard that every single day, $9 million is lost in crypto scams.
Oh my
So be
God.
aware of, just investing in some random coins just because, someone is telling. Today I was checking someone's Instagram story and it said, hey, invest in this coin. So do not just look at
Yeah.
Instagram stories and invest, please.
Do
Um,
research. Do research.
yeah. And on BitCloud, you can create your own cryptocurrency. For example, if Shreyans wants to go and create Shreyans coins, you can just do it. I know what it serves, what's the purpose of it, but you can just invest in
I
people,
think
I
it's just for
guess.
fun. I think it's just mostly
Yeah.
for fun for now, at least. Yeah, someone asked, is having a co-founder better than solo founder? And so I think that's a good question. And I would say 100%. Having a co-founder is much better than being a solo founder, because being a solo founder is very tough. You have to do so many things together. You have to handle your startup, and then if you want to register your company, you have to do all the documents. And even if you are doing something great, even if you're successful, there's no one to like celebrate with, right? No one understands the journey that you've been through. It's only something that a co-founder or co-founders can understand and go through with you. So help you also release that pressure, take half of the burden. I would say definitely go with co-founder. If you are a solo founder, just go look for your friends, relatives, someone who shares the same vision as you, and who has the courage to go down a less taken path.
So I think this NFT question is coming from Beeple's recent sale of his art for $69 million.
Yeah.
And okay, interesting fact. I think a lot of people don't know about this, but the person who bought it, his name is Meta Coven. That's his username. He's a Bitsian. He studied at BITS Pilani Dubai campus.
Yeah.
So he right now lives in Singapore. He's a crypto billionaire apparently. So his crypto net worth is over $1 billion, and he's a minimalist. So he doesn't own any cars. He rents a house. He has very few furnitures in his house. Just has a good computer,
Yeah.
and yeah, so he lives a very different kind of lifestyle. But I'm still not sure if NFTs, like it's a
I think NFTs are a bubble, in my personal opinion. Now,
yeah.
there might be some people who disagree with me, who think maybe NFTs are for long term, but I think NFTs are a bubble because if I create a JPEG image and sell it, it counts as an NFT, right? And someone could buy that. So there's not too much value associated to it. Anyone can make an NFT and sell it. There's not much value to it. So that's why I think they are a bubble. But I mean, I could be wrong. You never know, right?
Hmm.
So someone asked, how does registering a company? How to register a company? So there's multiple ways. You will need a CA or a CS, or you can just go to Vakil Search, right? Vakil Search is a great place to get your company registered. It does take a long time. It could take anywhere between
There's a
3 weeks
website
to
called
two
India
months.
Filings too, so you can check that out too.
Yeah. So there are a couple of websites. They do take time. They need a lot of documents, signatures. It's a lengthy process, and it costs money. I think it costs anywhere between 20 to 30,000 rupees.
If you do it,
So
yeah, around 50,000, and if you do annual audits, might cost around 1 lakh. So it's
yeah,
quite expensive. Don't do it unless it's necessary.
yeah. You don't need to worry about registering a company unless you're either getting funded or you're making like tons of revenue.
Yeah,
Right?
these are the two websites that Shreyan said, so check them
Vakil
out.
Search in India Film, not
Cool.
filing.
Let's take this final question and then we'll wrap it up.
Sure.
Unless you guys have better questions or something. And it is web and app development high paying skills? I would simple answer yes.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
here's the problem. A lot of people call themselves web developers and app developers,
Yeah,
but finding good quality app developers and web developers is really hard. And there is
yeah.
high demand for good quality app developers and web developers. If you're just making HTML pages and using basic CSS and JavaScript and calling yourself a web developer, you do not have a lot of opportunities. You'll have to upgrade yourself. Maybe learn React, maybe learn a bit of Next.js, learn a bit of cloud computing, learn something that makes you stand apart, right? So I would say there's a high demand for good quality people. Companies are struggling to hire good quality talent. So if you can learn these skills and be like among the top 1% of the developers, then well and good, you'll get paid high.
Not even top 1%. I think if you are
Yeah, even
very good,
Mhm.
yeah, if you're really good at web development and you're confident, you have a couple of projects under your belt,
Yeah.
you'll easily get internship or job, like at a startup at least. I'm not talking about like established companies, but at a startup, easily. It's not
Mm.
even too hard.
And whenever someone is hiring, just show them one of your projects. Like you don't even need a resume. If you're a good web developer, just send them one of your projects. It should be so impressive that they'll just hire you. Like just looking at a resume and seeing React, HTML, JavaScript doesn't make much sense. Just have one solid project that you can show to your recruiter. I think that'll have a huge impact.
Yeah. Someone asked, what is the difference between ECE and Triple E? So actually, I'm doing Triple E. Harish is doing ECE. And to be honest, there's not much difference. Up till third year, all the courses are exact same, right? And in third year, I think we have two courses that are different, and that's it. So throughout your entire 4 years of college, maybe 2 or 3 courses will be different between ECE and Triple E. Everything else will be the same. So don't worry about that. I think just take either one. Placements, usually there's no difference.
Yeah.
If a company accepts ECE students, it will accept Triple E students also. That would depend on your level of knowledge, your level of interview prep, mock placements, and all that. Someone asked, what is the difference between revenue and profit? That's a good question. I'll give you an example. For example, on Udemy, there are different courses, right? Now, if we buy a course for 500 rupees on Udemy, 50% of that money goes to instructor and 50% goes to Udemy, right? So that 50% that goes to Udemy is profit, and 500 rupees is its revenue, right? So uh, that's the difference in revenue and profit.
Cool, guys. I think we can wrap it up. Any courses for web development? Check out CodeDam. It's a good platform.
Yeah, quote down.
Yeah, cool, guys. I guess that's pretty much it. Thanks a lot for coming. Really appreciate it. We'll be doing these live streams every Friday. So yeah, do come for these live streams. Will be super fun. See you next Friday at 8 p.m. Take care. Bye.
Yeah, guys.
Also, oh, by the way, if you guys have more questions, join our Discord. You should find the link in the description or somewhere or in some of my other videos. So on Discord, I'm usually active. I'm usually online. Shreyans is also online. So you can just ping us or you can come on the voice chat and just talk to us. So, yep, thanks a lot for coming. And
Yeah.
if you have any suggestions about what we should talk about in the next episode, please comment it down or just Instagram DM me. I'll read it and we'll make that the topic of discussion for the next live stream. Yep, see you.